Welcome back to the Black and Gold Report. I'm Kevin Freeman. We're now joined by men's basketball coach Ben Miller. We're going to talk about the upcoming basketball season. I'm excited for it. I'm sure that you are too. You finished last season 18-12. You gave the Braves their first NCAA tournament appearance since moving up to Division II in the 1990s. Reflect a little bit on last season and how you're hoping to bring some of that momentum into this season.
Well, it was a lot of fun seeing the guys come together and become a team down the stretch and have some big wins and get to the tournament. Obviously, they got a taste of that success, and I think they're hungry for more.
Okay. Well, this is the beginning of your fourth season, and your win totals have gone. You won 6 your first year. You went up to 9 your second year. You won 18 last year. At this pace, jokingly, I think you should win 27. You would take that, wouldn't you?
Maybe.
Well, the team consists of, I think, only your recruits now. Are there any players left who weren't recruited by you?
Mike Robinson.
Mike Robinson's the only one left. So mostly your recruits, and you've seen your first freshman class become seniors. What sort of changes have you seen in your team over the last 4 years, not only in overall skill, but other kinds of factors, mental factors, whatever you want to talk about?
Well, it's neat to see those guys grow up, mature as students, as young men, and my wife even commented that they came over to the house for a cookout and how much they've grown up over the last few years. So that's neat to see. And obviously, you know, on the court they've developed and they've worked hard and gotten a little bit better every year. And I think they all had a good off season this year too. So
they came into training, if you will, pretty fit. You didn't have to do a whole lot of stuff to get them in shape? We still have to, you know, run them a little bit. But it's been real competitive in the preseason. Had some stitches and teeth knocked out here and there. So it's been, the preseason's been really competitive, which I think has helped everybody. Well, let's jump right in and talk about the 2011-2012 Braves. I want to start with the front court, if that's all right, led by senior Nathan Priest, senior Mike Robinson, and junior Big George Blakeney. Talk about these guys and what you're hoping to see from them this year. Yeah, it's a veteran front court, and we've added some depth with, you know, Big Reggie being eligible now, and you know, Ben Jacobs, who most likely will play this year. He's been a little banged up, but we do have some depth there. And then Cody, you know, played some on the front court for us as well. So experience and depth is a good thing, especially in the Peach Belt. And you've got some size too, which is something that historically the Braves haven't had a whole lot of. But with George and this new freshman whose name has escaped me, the 6'9" fella. Who won Tyler, I mean, you definitely have some. He's got the height, not necessarily the. Well, that's a project. The width, you can put a little meat on him over the years, but you've got some rebounding, so you definitely have some skill in the back court here, or in the front court. Sorry. Let's move on to the back court. Speaking of, you got preseason All-American, honorable mention Shamel Brackett, of course, senior Marcus Heath leading the charge. Talk about the veterans that we're going to see in the guard position. Yeah, again, you know, we got a veteran backcourt, and I think you've got to have good play in the backcourt to have a chance in the Peach Belt or any league. And having that experience coming back is a big plus. And then, again, but I also think we have another young guy with Griffin that'll help us, along with KJ and Ty and, you know, other guys that got a lot of good experience the last few years. Okay, well, speaking of which, you mentioned a lot of these new players. If you would, talk to us a little bit about the incoming freshmen, and if you have any transfer students coming in. I don't know if you're allowed to tell me this or not, but who are you thinking about redshirting at this point? Who do you expect to contribute perhaps right out of the gate? Sure. Well, we had 2 with Reggie and James that redshirted last year that were really good, got better in practice, that can help us. And then 5 new guys, 2 of which I think we've had discussions with those guys about playing this year, which is Griffin Pittman, a point guard from Charlotte, and Ben Jacobs from Princeton High School. And those 2 guys, you know, along with the other freshmen, could all contribute. The other guys, you know, I think we'll look at redshirting. I think we're in a position with so many veterans that we can do that, give them a chance to get stronger. You know, Brandon and Tyler are big, tall kids, but they only weigh about 200 pounds, 6'9", 6'7", so they need to get stronger, and they understand how that extra year can really benefit them academically. And then Quamaine Rose, too, I think will redshirt him. But the other 2 will have a chance to contribute. And it's nice. I mean, this is, again, another blessing, if you will, that UNCP hasn't had a lot of in past years, of being able to have some depth where you can have these options to redshirt quite a few people if you want. And I'm sure that it makes you spoiled for choice, which is a nice problem to have, right? Definitely. Yeah, it's you know, every time you do that, you know, sometimes it's a challenge for the kids when they're watching those games and they'd like to be out on the floor, but I think academically it helps them with graduation, and then
that year of adjusting to college basketball is really helpful.
Yeah, I had Reggie Cobia in one of my classes last year, and you redshirted him, as you mentioned, and I would talk to him in class about games, and you could tell that he was just itching. He was ready to get out there, and he was ready to contribute to the team, and he looks like he's put on a little bit of weight, put on a little bit of muscle. You think, what are you expecting from Reggie this year?
Well, he's a bundle of energy, as you know, from having him in class, and effort's always there. He's still got a lot to learn about the game, but he comes and works hard every day and brings a lot of energy to the court.
Well, real quick, Coach, longtime UNCP assistant coach Corey Thompson. He moved on this year, and you've replaced him with a new hire, Ben Thompson, no relation to Corey, of course. Talk about Coach Thompson and what he's going to do for the team and how he's going to help you.
Well, we'll miss Corey, but it was a neat opportunity for him and his wife. She's got a great job up at Fort Bragg. But Ben Thompson has been a great addition. He's got a lot of experience from being around really good programs at Virginia Tech and Greensboro and Leo down in Florida. So he's been around good people and bringing in some fresh ideas, kind of coordinated, organized the Moonlight Madness and did a great job with that, and just kind of spearheading a lot of the recruiting efforts as well as just the day-to-day coaching and program.
All right, Coach, we're going to take our next break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk to Coach Miller about the upcoming Peach Belt season. Stay tuned.